Today, we're making your Spanish feel more powerful because we're learning the past perfect, the tense for talking about something that had already happened before another past moment. In Spanish, this is wonderfully practical and actually pretty friendly once you see the pattern. The core idea is this: had done, had eaten, had gone. In Spanish, that usually means a form of haber in the imperfect, plus a past participle. So, había comido, had eaten, había salido, had left, habíamos terminado, we had finished. Here's the big pattern to remember. Había, habías, había, habíamos, habían. Then add the past participle. Think of haber as the little time machine that sends you back before another past event. And the past participle is the action itself. So if I say, cuando llegué, ella ya había salido, that means when I arrived, she had already left. One past action happened first, había salido. Let's lock in the participles fast. For regular verbs, it's easy. AR verbs become hado. Hablar becomes hablado. Terminar becomes terminado. ER and EIR verbs become ido. Comer becomes comido. Vivir becomes vivido. Tiny memory trick. Hado for AR, ido for ER and IR. Hado ido. Almost like a little chant. Now the helper verb. Listen and echo in your head. Yo había, tú habías, él o ella había, nosotros habíamos, ellos habían. Notice something nice? The word había shows up a lot. That's good news for your brain. Ya había comido. Nice. Ya means already, so ya había comido is a super useful chunk. Let's build one together. English, we had finished before 8. In Spanish, habíamos terminado antes de las 8. First the helper, habíamos, then the action, terminado. How do you say we had finished in Spanish? Habíamos terminado. Perfect. Now, when do we use this? Usually when we're telling a story in the past and we want to go one step further back. For example, perdí mi teléfono. But then you add, no, lo había dejado en casa. I lost my phone, but actually I had left it at home. The past perfect helps organize the timeline. Here's a practical formula. Another past event plus the earlier past event. Cuando llegué, ellas habían empezado. When I arrived, they had started. First they started, then I arrived. How do you say they had arrived before me in Spanish? Habían llegado antes que yo. Excellent. Llegado comes from llegar, to arrive. Let's talk negatives, because real life is full of them. To say had not done, just put no before haber. No había comido. I had not eaten. No habíamos visto la película. We had not seen the movie. How do you say she had not called in Spanish? Ella no había llamado. Exactly. No goes before había. A common learner mistake is trying to use the simple past when you really need the earlier past. For example, cuando llegué, ella salió means when I arrived, she left. That sounds like she left right then. But cuando llegué, ella ya había salido means she had already left before I arrived. That little había changes the whole timeline. Another common mistake, using the wrong helper verb. In English, we use had for everything, and in Spanish, for this tense, you use haber, not ser or estar. So not estaba comido, not era salido. Say había comido, había salido. And one more helpful note, with haber in this tense, the past participle usually doesn't change. So you say había comprado, habían comprado, habíamos comprado. The participle stays calm and relaxed. No costume changes. Let's try a question. In Spanish, you can simply raise your voice or use question marks in writing. ¿Habías estudiado? Had you studied? How do you say had you seen it in Spanish? ¿Lo habías visto? Great. Lo means it, and visto is an irregular participle from ver, to see. Yes, a few irregular participles are very common, and they're worth learning because you'll hear them all the time. Ver becomes visto, so había visto, had seen. Hacer becomes hecho, so había hecho, had done or had made. Escribir becomes escrito, had written. Romper becomes roto, had broken. Don't worry about memorizing a giant list today. Just grab the most useful ones. How do you say I had done my homework in Spanish? Había hecho mi tarea. Beautiful. Hecho is one of those high-frequency words that keeps coming back. Now let's connect the tense to time words. Ya means already. Todavía no means not yet. Nunca means never. So, ya había comido. I had already eaten. Todavía no habían llegado. They had not arrived yet. Nunca habíamos estado allí. We had never been there. How do you say they had not arrived yet in Spanish? Todavía no habían llegado. Very useful. Let's do a quick story flow. Escucha this. Ayer fui al cine, pero la película ya había empezado. Yesterday I went to the cinema, but the movie had already started. Then, no entendí una parte porque no había leído el libro. I didn't understand one part because I hadn't read the book. Hear how the past perfect gives background? It explains what had happened before. How do you say we had never been there in Spanish? Nunca habíamos estado allí. Nice. Estado is the participle of estar. Now a fast memory shortcut. Past perfect in Spanish is like a two-word sandwich. Helper plus action. Había plus comido. Habían plus llegado. Habíamos plus visto. If you can say the helper forms and you know the participle, you can build a lot. Let's review the core forms one more time, smoothly. Yo había. Tú habías. Él or ella había. Nosotros habíamos. Ellos habían. Then add the participle. Había hablado. Habías comido. Habíamos vivido. How do you say, I had written the email in Spanish? Había escrito el correo. Excellent. Before we wrap up, here's the trap to avoid. Don't over-translate every sentence with had in English. Sometimes English says had in other ways, but for the Spanish past perfect, use it when one thing happened before another past moment. If you're telling a story and want to show what came first, this tense is your friend. So today's main idea is simple. Past perfect equals imperfect haber plus past participle. Había comido. Habíamos terminado. Habían llegado. Use it for the earlier past. One last one. How do you say I had already eaten in Spanish? Ya. Había comido. Perfect. You've just learned a tense that makes your Spanish storytelling clearer, smarter, and more natural. If you can remember the little time machine, había, habías, había, habíamos, habían, and pair it with a participle, you're in great shape. Keep listening for chunks like ya había, no había, habíamos, and habían. The more you hear them, the more automatic they become. Muy bien, and keep going. Your Spanish is building, step by step, and it's sounding better every time.